Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the August meeting of the Mountain View Computer Users Group. I'm John Buell, President, and on today's agenda, a very short discussion on MVCUG Business, some timely tech topics, and unfortunately not a whole lot going on this month. Then we're going to have a term of the month. Then we're going to talk about the tips and tricks and applications. And then the main topic today is the state of AI 1 year later. Last year and this month, we had a presentation on artificial intelligence. And this month, we're going to go back and take a look and see the advancements in just 1 year. And they've been some significant ones. So moving along, we do have a sponsorship program. You can sponsor a meeting or a group of meetings. It's $10 a meeting or $100 a year, which is dirt cheap. You get a slide advertisement during the meeting. You can post a video on the web. You're mentioned our Facebook page and ask around. Who knows who would like to sponsor one of our meetings? And our sponsor this month is the candle lady, our own Carolyn McLean. If you're looking for a good present, and if you especially like candles, her candles are excellent. And MVCUG Business. First, let's introduce the officers. And we have myself, John Buell, the president. We have our treasurer, Carolyn McLean, who will give us a treasurer's report.
$$95.99, $10,025.99 savings for $1,000.
Great, which means we're still solvent.
And the next month is this month.
And we have one of our vice presidents, who's Mike McLean, who handles iOS and Windows. And then we have Barry, with a new picture this month, who handles Mac OS and iOS. And then we have the elusive Jim Emmons, our webmaster.
The memorial pages.
And we have our website, MVCUG.org. Go up and visit it at least weekly. You never know what's going to be posted up there. And we have our Facebook group up on Facebook, which has a lot of people out of town to follow us on Facebook. Some of the benefits of membership, in addition to our online resources, we have a hardware checkout, which, by the way, got used. It was a huge screen. I didn't particularly care for the way they set up the sound, but that's me. We have professional consultation. If you need assistance, you can contact myself or Barry. Normally, telephonically, there's no charge. We do Zoom sessions. Those vary in charge depending upon what we have to do, and we do visit your homes if necessary. We also have a group mail list, which I need to add to this slide, which if you have a problem, you can post it to the group and we'll solve your problem. The biggest problem people have is this legit? Is this phony? Generally speaking, if you have to ask the question, now occasionally, and I mean this has happened to me once in the past 25 years, I'll get a legitimate email that looks like a scam. I got one the other day from American Express, and they said, there's an issue with your account. Please go check. Membership dues is $25 per household annually. Membership is September through August. So next month, we start our new year. Yes, next month we start a new year. Next month's meeting is a very important meeting. If you are a member and you don't pay your dues until halfway through the year, it is not prorated. You must pay for the entire. If you are a new member, you are prorated. So we have that now. Dues go to the treasurer, Carolyn McLean. You can mail her a check, meet out to MVCUG. You can do it via PayPal. And here is our calendar. This month is AI, the state of AI a year later. And I've got some great. We're going to be taking a look at ChatGPT, your new personal assistant. If you're not using ChatGPT, you're wrong. To a point. When I show you what it's designed to do, as opposed to what people are doing with it, it's wonderful. Now, next month, okay, along with that, we're going to be taking a look at generative fill in Photoshop, Firefly, talking about AI video, what the state of that art is. And when you see what specifically in the area of photography, the advances that have been made in this past year, they are amazing. I mean, things that used to take me hours to do now take seconds. Things I could never do now can be done in a matter of seconds. And when you see it, it's just mind-blowing, but also controversial. Next month is our topics meeting. This is where you, the members, tell us, the board of directors, if you want to call us that, what you want us to talk about for the next year. If there's a topic you're interested in, all the topics that you've seen this past year all have been from members that said, I want to learn more about this. And that's what we research it and put it together. Though I must admit the AI one was mine. timely tech topics. What has happened this past month in the news? Well, the big one is Apple stock. Apple stock, it went up dramatically the month before, and it took a nosedive, down almost $10 a share. On speculation, they're not going to have a good year. This next week, quarterly earnings are coming out. We'll find out. Oh, they didn't? Oh, I thought it was this next week. Yeah, earnings were down. Does that mean the company's in trouble? Yeah, granted, Apple only has, $235 billion in cash? They have enough cash to buy France, lock, stock, and barrel, or most of the European Union for that matter. iPhone 15 rumors are going all over the place. There's also the rumor that the big update is going to be iPhone 16, not 15. There's rumors that the 15 is going to have the USB-C port. We don't know. So if you hear any of the rumors on the iPhone 15, ignore them. It's going to be what it is when it's introduced. And most of the rumors are generally wrong. Now, the most interesting thing this past month is Apple released the beta to iOS 17 and macOS Sonoma. What was odd about this is the public beta, unlike most in the past, is buggy as all get out. Is it usable? Yes. Does it crash a lot? Yes. Are the features that have been introduced so far great? Yes. It's a new iOS for the iPhone operating system. My favorite is to change the reminders list. You can now make a grocery list that examines each of the items you put in it, and it categorizes it by category. Makes shopping lists incredible. Did find out that the feature, which is letting you know when I'm going to be going someplace, only works if the person has iOS 17 also. Microsoft stock went through the ceiling this past month. I cannot find any reason. It jumped almost $11 a share. That's a lot of movement in a month. But also, Microsoft introduced something called Loop. It's free. It's in beta. It's a collaboration tool very much like Apple's Freeform. In fact, it's almost their answer to it. Using it, it is very much like Craft, which is a line-oriented page builder. Unlike Pages or word processors, we just type text. Each line has a different element you apply to it. We did this when we took a look at Notion a few years back. Craft is the same way. That's how Freeform works. So far, I'm not real impressed with it. It's almost like a Johnny-come-lately, but we're watching it. Freeform, I love. Freeform is just that, freeform. Put whatever you want to on the screen. It works great for collaboration.
Still in preview mode. I got the impression that it's probably going to be added into the Microsoft 365 more directly, but we'll see what happens with that. We were talking about scams a couple of minutes ago. What I wanted to mention was a couple of months ago, it was announced that there was a software breach with a software company called MoveIt, or a protocol called MoveIt, that a lot of businesses use to transfer information from one place to another. And it was a huge breach. I think they figured out the vulnerability that existed for like 4 years, and they don't know how long it's been exploited. I just got a letter a couple of days ago from a company I never heard of, and it stated that they are a third-party company that works with my investment firm, and that they had discovered that the vulnerability existed on one of your servers, at the same server I had information on. Actually, we had information. They said there's no evidence of a breach, but we wanted to let you know that possibility exists. And so then they offered the 3-year monitoring and all that, which I've already gotten in place. The reason I'm bringing this up is the information of mine that they could have gotten from that is name, social security number, and birth date. The reason I'm bringing it up is if you get an unsolicited email or phone call, it could be using that kind of information for what they call spearfish. It could be used to manipulate you into thinking this is someone you actually have a business relationship with. They know my name. They know my birth date. They know my address. All of that is really available pretty easily on the internet these days. When it comes to unsolicited emails, the old rules are the best. If they're reaching out to you and you don't know what to talk about, delete it. Very likely it is not something legitimate. If it is coming from somebody that you have a relationship with, instead of going through the email, go up to the website of that business entity and investigate it from there. Never click on a link in the email. I use a whitelist. It's easy to do on iPhone. I imagine it's probably easy to do on Android, where if I get an incoming phone call, if they're in my contact list, the phone call comes through. If they're not in my contact list, it goes directly to voicemail, and that cuts way down on the unsolicited phone calls and the scams that way. It is for iPhone, it's in the Apple settings. I don't remember offhand how to do that.
It's go into phone, silence, unknown caller. And that automatically, anybody not in your contact list goes automatically to voicemail, and you don't even see it ring.
And what I found is that so many businesses now are used to that that if they call you and they've never called you from that number, they're used to leaving a voicemail now. They'll just leave a voicemail saying, this is Dr. So-and-so, call us back. And I'll immediately take that number, put it in the contact list. So if they do call me again, it'll go right through. That's all I wanted to mention about that.
There's one other thing
I'll press AARP regarding the state breach and Medicare records were also taken, like 600,000 records. And they also, in addition to the three things Mike mentioned, they also mentioned some credit card information and date of birth and Social Security and phone number. There was something else too, forgot. Anyway, it seems pretty serious. And because they don't know how long it's been in the wild board, what is a federal agency that tracks these kinds of things, said it could be like 8 to 10 million people that could be impacted. You will get it. You'll get a letter from an agency if your records with them have been already. Yeah, and they said Medicare is still in the process of sending those out. They discovered the breach in the end of May. So they're still in process of notifying everybody that's got.
You will receive that via mail, surface mail. If you get an email that says that, click this link. Don't do it. Another benefit of this group is if you suspect an email, a phone call, call us. Me 24/7. So far, I personally have been able to save, and I've got this documented, $11,000 for members, keeping them from doing things for a scam. One member called me as they were getting ready to transfer the money, $3,000, Microsoft, to fix their computer, and I'm dead serious about this. They said, let's call John and make sure. They called me and I said, unplug your computer now. Call the bank. Stop the transaction. They made it just in time. The transaction was in the process of going through. I've had a number of these. If you get phone calls saying your computer is infected, no, it's not. If they say I'm Microsoft support, Apple support, no, they are not. Those companies do not make unsolicited calls. They are not monitoring your computer. Microsoft and Apple will only contact you if you contact them with a callback number and identification. Okay, let's move. Any more questions about Tell Me Tech Topics? Okay, tips of favorite apps. Okay, we've got some interesting ones. Now, I've changed the setup I'm using for display, so showing you these, it's going to take me a little to get into. First one I want to show is an app which I don't think many people are aware of. Okay, there is an application on your computer. I know Windows has this one. I think it's called Dictionary also. It is a dictionary app. Okay, built right in there. It comes free. Almost nobody knows it. You can type in a word.
And I think the source is the Oxford.
The source is the Oxford American English Dictionary. Okay, and you get a definition, etymology. I mean, it's a dictionary. It's also a thesaurus. You can check Apple and Wikipedia, all from within the app. Now, let's say that you're in the middle of a document. Let's open up Pages. Okay, there's the word, computer. In the drop-down menu, you have access to the dictionary. It says, look up computer. And guess what? There's the entry right there. You can open up a dictionary. You can configure the dictionary for foreign words. So that's a really cool app. iPhone has got the same thing. They don't have an app, but if you tap on the word and scroll over, you'll see lookup, and it takes you to the same dictionary. Something else that most people don't realize, translate. Guess what that does? You can translate it into any language you want. Oh, not any language, but you've got English, French. Right now, it is defaults to English, French, German, Indonesian, Italian, Japanese, Korean, Polish, Portuguese, Russian, Spanish, Thai, Turkish, Vietnamese. If that's not enough, you can go to and get lots more, including Japanese, Chinese, Mandarin, Chinese, Cantonese, and there's a third one. I don't remember what it is. That's the first. That's really cool. Email Pages. On email, you just select the text and say translate. It recognizes the language. Every iPhone, every Mac has got translate on it, which is a lot better than Google Translate. It'll translate text, translate speech. You can have interactive speech. Works like a champ. What it cannot do, as we have found out, is regional dialect. It is not very good on some regional dialect. This one is really interesting. Next one, Mac OS, how to activate speech recognition. Your iPhones and your Mac have built-in speech recognition. The iPhone, it's very easy. You just tap on the little icon and start talking. And if you're not making advantage of that, I seriously suggest you work on using that because it makes it a lot easier. What I'm going to do is come up here to System Settings. It's in dictation under Keyboard. You can select your language, your input source, the shortcut to start it, which in my case is the right command key twice. So we come back over here, hit the right command key twice. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to demonstrate to you voice recognition on the Macintosh. Period, new line. This is a great way to speed up your typing so you can do it faster than you've ever done it before. Period. New line. New line. It'll be that way. I had to accept it. Someday I'm going to remember how I do things. Period. My memory is just going to trash. Period. It all comes with having a daughter and getting older. Period. New line. New line. There you go.
But you can get that on Word of Microsoft too.
Yeah, it's available. It was first introduced. The original one was called Dragon. If you don't use this, I use this all the time to speed up typing. It makes it so much easier. Now, you have to be by yourself or with someone who's willing to sit and listen to you. Yeah, don't do it on an airplane. They really get upset about that. Before we move on, anybody else got a tip they'd like to share? Mike?
Windows, something that's VU mode, Windows, Microsoft started Copilot. I gather what it's going to be is they took the ChatGPT that they put in Bing and they're mixing that up with what used to be Cortana, and it will be Copilot. It'll be
Okay. Yeah, Barry?
Really quick, let's share something I've discovered just yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, if you have a library card for the here at the public library and not aware of apps you can use to borrow digital content, there's Libby by Overdrive, Hoopla. You got to mix that. But my wife and I were wanting to watch The Birdcage with Robin Williams, and we checked all our streaming services. Couldn't find it where we didn't have to either rent or buy it. So, well, we've seen it enough times. We don't feel like we want to pay for it yet. But I discovered that the Hoopla app it can get audiobooks and ebooks, which is basically that's all that Libby really and the book part. But Hoopla also handle digital video content. And there's TV shows and movies and all kinds of things that you can borrow from the library.
How do you do that?
And the Hoopla app comes I'm sure it's on all the platforms. I have it on my iPad, my phone. But I also discovered yesterday, if you wanted to see this watching television, Hoopla is on Apple TV, the App Store for Apple TV. But probably also available on other, like Roku or whatever streaming box you may have or do. So I added the Hoopla app. It connected to my library account directly. I could put in a code from my iPad into the Apple TV, vice versa, and it activated. I didn't have to do anything fancy to get my library card into the Apple TV version of the app. And then we were able to stream the Birdcage without commercials, without buying it. And you can get out to 5 streaming video borrows a month.
So you have your Sierra Vista Hoopla, your Sierra Vista library card. What else do you have to do? That means I need to find my library card.
It's built one of his other. It's got the upset.
Yeah. Wow. A little bit hard. Yeah. So there's Libby is the name of the app for audiobooks and ebooks.
You mean I can check out audiobooks from the library on my...
Yeah, I'm listening to a book right now on Libby.
You're doing a presentation on this, a whole meeting. Yeah.
So I can do it again.
Oh, that's incredible. Okay, do we have any questions? Okay, any questions on Mac, Windows, iOS, applications before we start moving along? Okay, we're going to do our computer lexicon, then we're going to take a break and go into our presentation. This month, it's machine learning APIs. A lot of people throw around the term machine learning with people not really understanding what the term is. Machine learning is where the machine can go in and start detecting objects. An object can be an image, it can be video, it can be speech analysis, sound classification, where it can start learning different sounds and what to do as a result of those. One of the ones is detecting a fall, detecting an accident. If you're in a traffic accident, your phone and watch can detect that. And if you do not respond, it will call 911 and report the accident. That's built into every iOS 16 device, and it does work, as my wife and daughter found out. My daughter said, all of a sudden the phone is saying, are you okay? Do I need to call 911? She had no idea. It activated when they were in a traffic accident. Okay, examples. Vision. Machine learning APIs builds features that can process and analyze images and video using computer vision. The ability to recognize faces. What you see in shows on face recognition, where the police are using it, or the FBI is using it in airports, or so like, that's legit. What they do is they sample millions of photographs of known people, and then they go through and say, do you recognize this person? It goes and does an analysis, which is kind of cool, and it can determine who that person is. That really does exist. Your iPhone has got the same thing. When it recognizes your face, it is comparing what it sees to what it knows. Is that the same person? So that's where that comes from. They can learn from doing. They analyze it and apply it. Natural language makes sense of text in different ways, like embedding or it can go through and learn as you type. Especially in iOS 17, it now has sentence completion feature. So as you're inputting information, it tries to figure out what the rest of the sentence is going to say. It completes it for you. It's working quite well. Speech recognition, where it can go in and recognize your speech and what you're saying. Siri is an example of this. Alexa is an example of this. They go through and they recognize what you're saying. Like at home, I can say, turn the lights on, turn the lights off, turn the air conditioner down, turn the air conditioner down. My wife says, turn the air conditioner up, turn it up. I say turn it up, she says turn it down. She wants it colder, I want it warmer to shut it off. It recognizes our speech patterns. It can recognize the difference between my wife, myself, and my daughter. Matter of fact, what happened is when my daughter came home and the first time she used Siri, it said, welcome back, Alexandra. It knew she'd been gone. She hadn't accessed it in months. Shocked the heck out of my daughter. If you've ever used Shazam on your iPhone to recognize music, so that's machine learning APIs.
That started
That was one of the first apps, one of the first iPhone apps. Okay, any questions on machine learning APIs and what they do? It is not AI. It's machine learning. It's totally different. Okay, what we're going to do right now is take a break so I can get some more coffee, and we'll take about a 5-minute break. Okay, folks, break's over. Time to get restarted again. We're going to be talking about the state of AI 1 year later from last year. We're going to be talking about assistant AI. In this case, we're going to be using ChatGPT. It is one of many out there. We're going to talk about the state of music AI, video AI, art AI, and the last is on photography, which where the biggest changes have come. The assistant AIs, in the past year, I use the term loosely, program, a service, for want of a better term, called ChatGPT, has taken over the industry by storm. You cannot look at a computer magazine or just about social media without somebody having an opinion about ChatGPT. What is it? It is a website or program. It's a program on your iPhone or iPad. On your laptops, it's a website, which it's your personal assistant. You can say, I want to write a business letter, an email. You can generate scripts for video or radio. Use it as a research tool. But understand, it can be wrong. One of the big stories that came out this past year is a lawyer used ChatGPT to write a brief. The brief that was written for her contained bogus court decisions. They didn't exist. I know that she has been chastised. I do not know she's been disbarred. ChatGPT ends at 2017. That's where it stops with its knowledge.
what we be wanting.
Oh, has it been updated to 2020? Okay, then they've updated it. Okay. Stops in 2021. I'm sorry. So it doesn't do anything past that. There's a lot of controversy over it because it can promote plagiarism. Rather than college students actually doing the research to writing the paper, they can just tell ChatGPT to write the paper, and it will. Do they guarantee it's going to be a good paper? No. But you can use it for some good things, and we're going to talk about that. One of the things I use it for is to proofread my documents. I say, review the following document for spelling, punctuation, and grammar, voice tone in a formal manner designed to be read by somebody and give the description of the audience. And it goes through and makes the changes on it. I'll demonstrate it. Just tell it what you want it to do. I'm going to be typing it out in just a second. Okay? You can have it do research for you. The other day when I was doing one of my podcasts, I wasn't sure about some of the things. So I had ChatGPT go and research for me and to see if there was anything I was missing out of my topic. And sure enough, it found a few things. I said, of course, I forgot to include that. It can do a very good job of writing emails for you. It can do a very good job of writing business letters. but you need to tell it what you want it to say. Now, can you do this yourself? Yes. Is it doing what in the days past that a secretary would do for you? Yes. Say to your secretary, and this is when they were secretaries, not office assistants, a secretary, write a letter for me to somebody saying, I don't want to do this. And she would write the letter. Now, do you know how I know that is what happened? That's what my mother was. She was an executive secretary. She wrote letters for her boss. She took shorthand. I remember vividly of her practicing at night with my dad, giving dictation to do great shorthand because she was weak in that. But she was an executive secretary, and that's what she did. That's what ChatGPT does. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into ChatGPT, chat.openai. So I'm presenting here with the screen. All my old chats are up here. Now, if there is something you would like me to have ChatGPT do, just say so, and I'll enter it. Okay, I'm going to be doing that one. Okay, but right now, let's say write a video script for a presentation to a group of senior citizens on the use of artificial intelligence. Just leave it right there. Okay. Enter that, and we have our video script.
And this is one of the things the writer's strike is addressing.
Yeah.
It's very controversial, but I'm going to show you some things that it does well.
Why is this see?
Because it's a video script. It's a video script.
So you could interpret it as
or video B-roll. I could give this to a director and say, make this movie. It's a damn good script. Okay, it does an excellent job of it. But let's take a look at something else. Things where it can be bad. Write a college paper for a sophomore from a sophomore or a sociology class on the misuse of AI in today's. Okay. And
did you see in yesterday's Sierra Vista Herald, they had a little article on using AI in schools, and there I could got the coaches talked about them all.
oh, and their policy is no, you can't use it.
Do all the stuff you're all about hacking.
You can do it for research. Okay, this is writing the actual paper. But let's do it differently, the correct way. Write an outline of a 3-page paper on the misuse of AI in today's society for a college sociology class. Include bibliographic references.
And that's where you got to be careful. His lawyer found out. He just made up the middle of the door.
But this gives you a place to start. And this is why I like ChatGPT. The hardest part in writing, organization, and getting the first paragraph written. And this does it for you.
Not to have it right for me, but to...
Yes. Yeah. And then from this, I fill in the blanks. So wow, this did a really good job. It wrote an outline for me. Now, I don't see anything wrong with writing an outline to give me a place to start. Writing the paper, no, that's wrong. But how about to show you what teachers can do? When I use ChatGPT to do research and I copy and paste into my writing, Jane can identify those areas that I did not write. She said the tone changed. Now, let's see some other things that it can. Now, let me give you some other examples of things it can do. Let's write a informal email, a company sending me emails. Let's see what it does.
Thinking is the whole fear of artificial intelligence. None of this is any of the close to intelligence. Actually, I like Carol's thinking.
Well, what it is doing, you have to understand this. You have to understand neural networking to understand how it does its job, and I'm not going to go into that. Yeah. It goes out and searches the web for everything it can find. It creates a repository of it. And then when you go in and ask it a question, It has been trained to understand phrases, and it collects things and puts together. Like, here's the email. It says, hey, company, I hope this email finds you well. I've been receiving a lot of emails from you, and while I appreciate the information updates, my inbox is getting a tad too crowded. Would you be kind enough to remove my email address from your mailing list? I'd really appreciate it. Okay, understand, on all the AI, you cannot get it to repeat. If you give the same information twice, you get two different things. Now, the thing I like to do, I am copying my paper on my latest podcast. Now, I'm going to come over to ChatGPT and say, review the following paper for grammar, punctuation, and spelling. And the tone is informal. It says, give me the information. I just typed it in. And here are the changes it made.
So what's the difference between this?
But it doesn't check it for tone.
Yeah.
Now, letter, that is in the work thing.
Grammarly's got it.
Well, I mentioned it was right, but free.
So Grammarly is in there. So he put application that I have to sure I think it doesn't say anything.
Oh, and it's made some very interesting changes.
How do you, I mean, you know your source material, but just as it's doing that, it seems like it's fast to really do a detailed comparison. So, so did you want to copy that?
I'd love to be able to do that, but I can't figure out how to do it in Pages to do a comparison. But also, ChatGPT remembers what you did. It's like you're talking to a person. Exactly. These are all the changes that it made. I said, what changes were made? And it remembers what we were doing. One of the things I use it for, I do a lot of Google searches, and I hate the way Google searches because it just gives you URLs. Okay, I want information on topic, is how I use ChatGPT a lot. The next thing I'm going to do, I asked it, tell me about computer user groups in Sierra Vista, Arizona. It told me about user groups. Okay, but this is how I really use it. Okay, I want an explanation of M theory and string theory, theoretical physics. If you do a Google search on it, you just get all the URLs. You have to go through, write a 3-page. I said, write a 3-page paper for a senior citizen with a PhD in education, string theory and M theory. This is how I use it. Yep. Actually, this is a damn good one. I've done this one before, and I asked it for the mathematical formulas. That way, you have to go and research and make sure it's factual. One of the things that authors can use this for is that when you're writing a book and you want it to take place in a city you're not familiar with, researching that area, unless you travel to it, becomes difficult. You can tell ChatGPT to generate that for you, a scenario, and it will give you street names and things. Now, is it 100% accurate? No. Is it good enough for what you're doing? Yes. And here's a paper. So that's what ChatGPT does. It's a personal assistant. This last year, now, this one is free. There are better ones that cost money. Designed a web for a computer. Let's see what it says. And it's designing me a web page. Yes, I can ask it to generate the HTML. You can also do it to a limited extent writing code. Now, that gets really interesting for a writing environment. That's where the real danger comes in, because you can really plagiarize yourself, and it can do all the work, and it's not yours. So, any other questions on ChatGPT? I consider it to be a personal assistant. Can it be misused? Let's go. Okay, next one is the music industry. This past year, almost nothing in the music industry. It's kind of stagnant. The applications out there to generate music, in my opinion, pure and simple. They don't do a good job. Can they generate sounds? Are they creating music? Nothing I would consider to be music. Are they getting better? Yes. We shall wait and see what happens this next year. Video. Oh, this is what I love. Last year, video was just coming out as being able to AI-generated video. There's been lots of progress made. There's a lot of sites where you can generate video, but you're not getting movies. You're getting video. You're getting sound and images. What you're getting is a slideshow based upon what you input. We're going to go to this website. We're going to go in. Okay. We're now in an interface, something similar, ChatGPT. I need to tell it what I want. Create a video script. Here we go. And I want it to be 1 minute in length. Target platform is YouTube. There we go. Generate the script. Should have made it shorter. Okay, there's the script. Now generate the video. But you're going to see that it's not a movie, which is unfortunate. That's what I'm waiting for, is to be able to give it a script of a movie and have it create that. Okay, I should have chosen a shorter, but this gives you a good idea. Here we go. Okay.
Hey there, fellow food enthusiasts. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious and creamy pasta Alfredo. Believe me, this dish will have your taste buds in pure ecstasy. To start, bring a pot of water to a rolling boil and add a generous pinch of salt. Once the water is ready, toss in your pasta of choice. I highly recommend using fettuccine for that perfect bite. While the pasta is cooking, it's time to make the star of the show, the Alfredo sauce. Melt some butter in a large skillet over medium heat and add minced garlic. Sauté it until fragrant, about a minute or so. Next, pour in some heavy cream and bring it to a gentle simmer. Allow the sauce to thicken slightly before adding grated Parmesan cheese. Stir continuously until the cheese has fully melted and the sauce is smooth and velvety. Now, drain the cooked pasta and add it directly into the skillet with the Alfredo sauce. Toss it all together, ensuring that each strand of pasta is coated in that creamy goodness. Serve your pasta Alfredo hot, garnished with freshly ground black pepper and chopped parsley. Believe me, this dish will have you coming back for seconds and maybe even thirds. Get ready to indulge in some pasta perfection.
Does anybody recognize this style? You see it in YouTube all the time. That's what people are doing, is that they're going up and using video AI to generate YouTube shows. You have to be very careful about it. Unfortunately, they're very popular, but this is the state of the art for video. It's advanced a lot this past year. Last year, when I researched, it was so bad I didn't even demonstrate it. This is not too bad, other than the fact that that's not an Alfredo sauce. Alfredo sauce does not contain cream. That is a myth. True. If you want to find out about true Alfredo, go up to Uncle John Likes to Cook, episode 2. You can see true Alfredo sauce, which has no cream in it. No, it's my podcast. I'll send you the link. And true Alfredo sauce is delicious, absolutely delicious, but there's no cream in it. Never has been, never will be. Okay, so that's video. We could give a lot more demonstrations, but I want to get to the star of the show. Next one is art. There are 2 clear winners in the art category. They've taken the industry by storm. Midjourney, which now costs too much to demo. I couldn't even find a good YouTube video on it. Well, let's take a look at Firefly. Okay, Firefly by Adobe, which I think is 10 times better than Midjourney, and it's getting better every day. This is under the Firefly umbrella. You have text to image, generative fill, which we'll take a look at in photography, text effects, generative color, recoloring. We do not yet have 3D to image or extend image. That's coming. Also, Firefly video is coming. From what I've been able to gather, it is going to be true video. So let's go into text to image. Like most of the AI applications, we're given a text prompt. Somebody give me an image that you want to generate. Any suggestions? Fairy queen what? So type it in. Unlike Midjourney, I can make changes to styles easily. Okay. Right now, I have it set to art. It's giving me these four art images. I can say, no, I want it to be a photo with a click of a button. I do not have to regenerate the prompt. Damn, these are good. I can change the size. Right now, it's square. I don't deal in that. I deal in widescreen. I can change. Now, these 2 images are good. This one and this one are kind of hosed, but I have different styles I can use. Digital art, synthwave, palette knife. I can change the tone and color. Let's make it warm tone. Here's the materials, and I want oil painting under techniques. We're going to make it an oil painting now. Yeah, I'm going to make it art. You don't have to use the prompt. You have your prompts over here. And I can say, okay, I like this one. Okay, now I have 4 variations. Oh no, this is the one I selected. Okay, I can generate similar ones. I'm going to show you something you can't do in Midjourney. Oh, I'm going to take this one, generative fill. I can add to this. I had a leaping fish. It's a full thing. There we go. I like that one. I'm going to keep it. And then over here, I'm going to have a tree elf.
So this is the part you get.
Not easily. It's the edit feature, generative fill. No, I don't like any of these. I'll keep going until I find something I do like. Okay, I'm going to use that one. So I can keep going. I can generate. If I can describe it in text, it will generate it. And then I can go in and manipulate it using generative fill. What were those called? Staff comment. See what happens. Well, it is good. It is not great yet. They all have problem with hands. They all have problem with faces. Scenics, they do beautifully.
The resolution. If it's
Now, one of the big problems, besides the resolution, their standards, their ethics. You cannot show bloodbaths. You cannot show nude. And some of the things it says that, no, that violates the standards, you're saying, why? And you can't get a good answer. It did not like, they violate its user guidelines because of combat. They won't show combat, it won't show weaponry. There's more that it won't show than it does show sometimes. Okay, there we go. Okay, so we're going to take right there. Yeah. Oh, that's surprising that they would show that. Wow. But you notice the face? Face is terrible.
Yeah.
That one's terrible. That's, oh, geez. That's okay. Sort of. That's Firefly. Firefly does a lot more. Text images. You can use it to generate art. Generative fill, while it is available with Firefly at the website, it is better inside of Photoshop. This is where the major leap forward took place in AI this past year, is when they introduced generative fill in Photoshop. But we're going to start off with this one. I'm going to edit with Photoshop Beta. Okay, first thing you can do is show neural filters. Neural filters are a new type of filter that use AI. I can do skin smoothing. It recognizes the face. I can smooth the skin. And what we're going to do is zoom here on Janet. So what I'm going to do is download the filter, and now I can apply smoothing. I can either do it by blur and smoothness.
I see it as both faces.
Yeah.
Is this working on both faces?
No, it's just working on her face. I'd have to go and select that face. It's one in blue. So you can see it smoothed her skin very gently, so it doesn't look plastic. That's before, that's after. Before and after. It kept the eyes sharp. Now, Smart Portrait is the one I use a lot. Notice her eyes. I want her eyes to move over.
Is this?
No, it's part of Photoshop. If you get the Photoshop subscription, $10 a month, you can get the beta copy. I'm going to move the eyes over just a bit more. You notice that her eyes are shifting. I use this one when I've got a family portraiture and somebody's not looking directly at me. I move their eyes over. I've shifted her eyes over considerably. Look at the difference. I can change the happiness. I can go in and make her look surprised or anger. So I'm going to crank up the anger. Fine-tune a portrait very easily. I can also do makeup transfer. I can take the makeup style off of one model and put it onto a different one. I can colorize old photographs. The new one, and I couldn't find anything to do this. I don't have any photos that need restoring. One of the new ones is restore old photos. They've got the cracks in it and the bleached out. It goes in and restores it. So that's neural. Okay, in this photo, you see this hand right here? I don't like that hand. So I'm going to select it, hit generative fill, then generate. You notice
Is on her chest.
we can get rid of those. And you're right. Those don't look good. So I'm going to come here.
Where are they? Just leftover.
The little tags. Hit generate. Generate. Notice that it kept the style of the clothing The chain was not effective. It removed it perfectly. Now let's add in something. I don't know if this one's going to work, but we're going to try it. And I want you holding glass of wine. I don't know if this is going to work. Let's try it and see. Now this is using generative fill, which can go in and remove things, add things, change things, and I have choices. No. Let's try 3 more. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't do hands well yet. But remember, this is still all in beta.
Well, before the picture had beautiful painters.
I still have,
Better than.
I think that's the best one. I want to expand this image. I'm going to grab the crop tool. Missing. Let's see what it does. I probably shouldn't have chosen this one because there's not enough information there. But we'll see what happens. It might work. Not bad. There, that's better, except for the faces of the background, but I can blur those out. I could blur that out, but it finished the picture for me. Okay, so let's go back into...
Matters what content of the image that you're trying to expand. It's actually looking on the web for its source material. It doesn't have...
Yeah, because what we're going to do here on this one, what I'm going to do is, first thing, I don't like Jane being there. So I'm going to show you, we're going to try this with the remove tool. The remove tool uses some of the same technology, but it's used to remove things. Get the cursor up, and let's see what it does on removing Jane. This is using the remove tool as opposed to generative fill. Not a bad job. Okay, it took out, and then let's see, is there anything else? Now what I want to do is I'm going to come over here, and I don't like what she's carrying. So let's see if we can't improve that. She now has her hand in the pocket and by the side. That one right there. Notice that it fixed the background. It filled in a background, and it's virtually perfect. Now, see, you never know what's going to happen because every time you do it, it comes up different. So we'll see if we can remove her daughter.
We'll put somebody else there.
Okay. But you notice that the bar is missing here. So I'm going to select a little portion of that. See if we can add that back in. That works. That works. Now, let's go. I want to be wearing a hat. Oh, that is a hat. That's a little too high. Okay, so I'm going to trash this. Now, understand, could I have done all this myself? Yes. But like this area right here, that background would have taken me hours to do. Getting rid of Jane out of the picture, probably 15, 20 minutes. That hat's not bad. No. I think we'll leave her without the hat. Let's get on to a different picture. Okay, let's go in this one right here. Now, this is Catalina Island. I want to get rid of him, that trash bin. that fast. And you notice it perfectly matched everything. Now, what should we add? You want to add something on the beach? Let's add surfers. And the selection is very critical. So you may have to, there's my surfers. Not bad, actually. Oh, that's much better. Okay, there's my surfers. And what I want here is jumping dolphins. There we go. So now we have recreate our scene, put anything we want to. I got one more I'm going to show you. Gray hair. Whoops. There we go. Now, we're going to come over here. You know, that's great. He has hair. Now, many of you probably don't realize, but we used to have to put in sunglasses in commercial pictures if the person had given a photo release so he could not be recognized. Painstaking process to put sunglasses on a person. What I haven't been able to do is get to remove hair, like a beard and mustaches. At least I haven't been able to figure out how to do it. Actually, that's not bad. Yeah, that works. And then let's go in with the remove tool. Okay, notice, by the way, that all this, if I use the generative tool, it's non-destructive because it's in layers over here. The remove tool is destructive. But what I'm going to do now is, remember that was R2-D2 there before? C3PO. Commercial image. So let's try out golden robot. Yeah, C3PO is a Disney copyright. That works. Now, there, oh, now I need this picture to be a little bit bigger. So what I can do is come take the crop tool. But you notice how incredibly good this is. There we go. That's one. No. I like that one best. In a matter of a few seconds, I've completely changed. I've changed the woman he was with. I've changed the background easily and seamlessly. You'd be hard-pressed to tell this is a fake. I'm going to end this right here with that. Okay, because I've shown the advancements that have made this past year in AI, the AI assistants, not much in music. Video is progressing, but still isn't really there to generate movies, which is what I'm looking for. So I can go in and give it a plot line and it'll generate a movie. We've seen with the art world being able to generate harbor scenes. We just had one, if we'd had more time, generate photographs that don't actually exist, but you need. And then where the largest advancement is the field of photography with generative fill and remove tool. They are allowing us to go in and do things that used to take us hours to do. Now it can be done in a matter of minutes. Is it perfect? Not by any stretch of the imagination. Is it getting there? Just since Firefly has been introduced, I've seen it improve dramatically. With that, folks, are there any questions or discussion on anything we talked about today? None? No comments at all. Okay, folks, thank you very much, and we'll see you next month. Think about the topics you want to see for next month.